builders was much more superior look, drier, harder, conditioned, everything as far as a bodybuilder should be, saying they were better than the current bodybuilders. So I think we all agree it's hard to say that, who's better. I mean, yeah, Dorian Yates was probably the grainiest bodybuilder. Andres Munzer probably the most ripped. But I don't think that the grainiest bodybuilder doesn't always win. The freakiest mass monsters, is Phil a mass monster? You may say no, but when you see him in pictures, he's a big guy. He's round. He's full. Great muscle bellies. And to find a flaw in him is, everyone says, the clavicles, the clavicles. Well, that's what you heard and that's what you see. But when you stand next to him in person, my structure, I'm 5'10 and a half, 240 pounds, I'm soft, of course, but I'm not ripped and conditioned like him. I train hard, but Phil is like rounder, and the only way I can describe it is he's retarded big in person. And when you see him in person, you shake his hand and talk to him face to face, he looks big. But when you get on stage, you go from big to that was the same guy I just spoke to. There's no possible way. So, at 245 pounds, whatever he is, 242, comparably to someone like Yates, who's 255, standing side by side in a picture, I love Dorian Yates. I think he's one of the most amazing bodybuilders ever, if not one of the best. Who's the best? You pick your favorite, of course. We all pick our favorites. We all pick guys we love. But the main thing I think Rich was trying to say was that they were better than the current ones. So I want to address that. I think that personally, it's just my opinion. Through all the years I've been doing bodybuilding, it's about 35 years now. So I do have some experience. I've been a coach for a long time, and I competed a couple times. I sucked, but I'm a much better coach. So I don't have genetics for bodybuilding. But I think you look side by side of Phil compared to Dorian. They're two different looks. So it really depends on what the judge is looking at that point. At that time, Rich, like for you, when you came out, you did the shredded glutes, and people were like, holy shit, that's possible. Okay, you started that, and that's awesome. I think it's great because you started a trend of you can get dry and grainy. Now, did you look dry and grainy like Dorian? No, but you had ripped glutes. So were you hard? Absolutely. But I never really saw any like striated triceps and things like that. But I've seen guys today like Rolly, his triceps are freaky shredded, and his biceps and his back and everything. So, striations in the quads. So I think that the main thing is, back in the day when I was growing up in the 90s, and Dave Palumbo can attest to this too, he's mentioned this many times, and I just have to laugh because it's so similar thing. We got magazines. We couldn't see these guys. The Shadow. Who's the Shadow? Some guy from England, London. Where's he from? I don't know. Iceland. He just showed up one day, and I saw him in person too. And bigger than Phil? Wider, yeah, but standing next to Phil, it's a different show. It's like Big Ramy comes in. He's big, but standing next to everybody else, okay, he starts to blend in a little bit more, right? I know a lot of people disagree with that, but if you really take a hard look at that, he stands out, but he doesn't stand out enough to go, okay, he won. Where Phil walks on stage, they go, 1, 2, 3, Phil, yeah, okay, Phil won. I mean, it's just hands down every time. He doesn't have flaws. So, I personally think, and I hate saying this because you older guys, well, I should say guys my age who were in the 90s of 51, you guys were awesome. You guys did everything right. You trained hard. I understand that. Love Roan, Sean Ray, all you guys. You guys busted your ass. Dave Palumbo, one of the hardest trained bodybuilders out there. Dorian trained like a freak. But at the end of the day, I think there was a stigmatism and a little bit of a persona, or not a persona, but some kind of like illusion to these guys in the 90s. Like, where are they? We don't see them in person. Then we see them in person and go, wow, that's a bodybuilder? Like, I saw Samir Benout when I was 20 years old. T-shirt, walks in the gym 2 years after Olympia, he takes shirt off, and I about shit my pants. I'm like, is that possible? How's that possible? So I think that the older guys grew up in the 90s that are bodybuilders now, I think they're upset in a sense because they can't get back up there again and they really want to. And I totally understand that because I wanted to compete for years and my body breaks down. My shoulders hurt, my knee hurts yesterday from squats. It's a fact of life and it sucks. But I think that their egos are getting in the way in the fact that, back then they were great. And I can stand toe-to-toe with anybody, blah, blah, blah. Sure you could. Doesn't mean you're going to win. And I'm sure the guys from today say the same things. Luke Sandow coming up, you know, Sergio Olivia Jr., Steve Kukla, who looks amazing. I've seen Steve in a couple pictures 4 or 5 weeks out of a show, and he's pretty damn dry. You know, what happens on the day of the show, I don't know. I mean, you know, it just depends, but Steve always seems in great condition. Ben Bukowski's one of the most shredded bodybuilders of all time. He's always been shredded, but he's got some structure issues. But, you know, so maybe the structure stands out more. I think the older guys just have this butthurt opinion of the new guys, the new wave, but I think everyone should support everyone in bodybuilding. I think that the new guys are a new breed. Some say, oh, they're bigger, they're GH gut, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, Yates had a big gut back then, too. So, Lee Haney didn't. Ronnie Coleman, massive frickin' gut. I mean, so the trend's been continuing all the way through. And sorry, Dave, but you did too. But the funny thing is a lot of times these pictures are taken when they're breathing outward. And when they breathe outward, you're going to see a distended stomach. But when they suck it in, Yates' stomach goes away, Phil's goes away. But the pictures that are taken, they kind of catch that one little spot, and everyone focuses just on that. Let's not focus on the negative. Let's be positive. This is bodybuilding. If you say bodybuilding's dying, maybe it's because you're just having your opinion. You're blowing up the boards everywhere on social media and saying a bunch of crap. So we're not all editors. We're not all, you know, basically we're all armchair quarterbacks. The day after the show, oh, well, you know, Phil could have done this, and, you know, if he wasn't shredded enough, okay, you can say whatever you want. The bottom line is, unless you're there at that show and you see the people in person, you don't know. So we can take comparison pictures, and I put up for fun just to kind of see what kind of response we get. I don't like a ton of controversy, but thank you guys for the comments you had, because at least you guys aren't trolls out there bashing people and, you know, blah, 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 blah. I mean, let's have some fun with this. It's bodybuilding. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It's growing and growing. Small. It's not growing by leaps and bounds, I don't think, because the magazines are gone, but social media's turned it into a new trend. So I guess at the end of the day, are the 90s bodybuilders better than today's bodybuilders? I heard Ronnie and I think someone else bashing Brandon Curry. Oh, he's not the best ever, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? He still won. He beat Dexter. He beat some really good competitors. And it's like saying Donald Trump sucks too. Okay, that's your opinion. But let him do his job. Let Brandon Curry do his job. I thought he was in great condition. I've seen some pictures of him that he looks really good. Comparably, he's got striated quads, tiny waist. I've seen him a little bit bloated in certain turns. But overall, his structure's pretty good. So why is he so bad? And why could he beat Ronnie Coleman? I don't know. Maybe not. But standing next to him, maybe. It's hard to say. I would say probably no. But, you know, on any given day, who said Jay Cutler's never going to beat Ronnie? Jay had a wide waist, but he's a massive fucking shoulders. All right, guys, Coach Cantuna now. It's one of my first videos. I'll try to post this on Instagram. Check out my YouTube channel, Enhanced Coaching. I'm going to try to do more of these. In the morning every day I get up and I start my work, or in the morning I'm on the computer working all day. So, all right, guys, let's keep bodybuilding real. Let's keep up the post. Let's keep it positive. Let's not start a bunch of shit. So I really hope everyone enjoys this video and hope for some more to come. Please post your comments. Let's hear what you got to say. And maybe if some of the comments are blown up, and maybe I'll piggyback on some comments you guys made and see who wants to get a shout out there. All right, guys. Coach Ken signing out. Thanks.